In this video, I'm going to be testing one of the most interesting rods I've ever come across on AliExpress, and that's this bad boy, the Kuying Hangetsu. Let's go.
If you haven't already checked out the unboxing video, go check that out, see the rod up close and personal. Otherwise, let's catch some fish.
Yep. Yes. Yeah. What's the prediction? Little pinky. I don't think it's a salmon. Yeah. Oh, Trev. Nice Trev there, maybe 32 centimeters. Nice little fish. Some nice girth to him, see him go. Alright, so what we're running right now, we've got the Kuying Hangetsu rod, 8 foot, 1 to 28 grams. Kind of doubt that casting weight rating. And Daiwa Emeraldus LT. I think this is a 29, no, not 2019. Don't know, 2022 model. But yeah, it's 3000 size shallow spool, and we've got the Zakibo Sembo 131 braid in PE1. So not the ideal setup for casting 1 gram, which this rod is meant to be able to cast. I think it's better at sort of like, I'm gonna say 5 enough. Oh, there's another one. There's a good one. Come on. Slow action on the rod, surprisingly. Another tread. Fighting as well. Yep, another Trev. Ooh.
So we've had a little fun with the rod, caught a few fish. Let's test this casting weight.
So this is the Kuying Hangetsu. It's an 8'3", light, medium light powered rod. Well, that's kind of interesting. Because of the casting weight, it actually says, what is it? 1 to 27 grams, which is crazy. So just excuse the birds, but the thing I want to test the most is 1 to 27 grams. Is that possible? And also I have a feeling that with the, reel, casting 1 gram, there's optimizations you can make with the line and the reel, and casting obviously 27 grams, a little bit different. So let's have a test. We've got 3.5 grams on here, metal jig. We're just gonna, throw 3.5. I think I've got a 7, a 10, a 15, a 20, and I think I have a 25, or we might need to use a jig head and a plastic and that type of thing. But we're gonna see how it casts, because I have my doubts. It's kind of crazy. All right, let's go. 3.5 grams. I've got a 1.0 PE line here. I would say that cast distance, I'm not going to say what it is exactly, 30 meters, something around there, but I would say that is quite satisfactory. We might have to go down in weight because obviously it says 1 gram, not 3.5 to 27, but definitely cast 3.5 fine. We might jump up to 10. I want to really test that top end and see what it does. But yeah, that 3.5, absolutely no issue at all. Okay, so we've definitely stepped it up a notch. We've got 15 grams on here. As you can see, this Lureholic jig, 15 grams, you know, with the clip, whatever, maybe it's a little bit more, but it doesn't really matter too much. It doesn't seem to, you know, obviously overload the rod or anything like that. Let's give it a cast. I'm gonna ease one out there and then I'll try and rip one, because, you know, 15 grams, that's kind of in the middle of the, didn't seem bad at all. Wow, do you see where that landed? Almost over to the other side. So it's got to be a good 50 odd meters, maybe more. Might have to start casting out in this direction. But yeah, we'll burn this one in. Wow, quite far. Probably not too much further than that first cast. And I casted that a little heavier. So that's about maybe 60 meters. But you know, I'm not too fussed with the specifics on the distance. It's whether or not, you know, it comfortably casts these weights. Yeah, on the upper and lower ends in particular. But 15 grams, I think we can comfortably say that that is not an issue at all. So we've got 3 to 15 grams, not a problem. Let's keep going. All right, so now we've gone up in weight. We've got this big slug on here, 25 grams. Initially, yeah, I mean, you can definitely feel the weight. Don't cast 25 grams too often, but doesn't seem too bad. Let's have a cast. Again, I'll ease into this one and then we'll take it from there. I'll aim for that same target. I just sort of eased that one, didn't sort of super load the rod. Don't think it casted any further really than the previous one, although we didn't, you know, give that too much. But yeah, it's good. At least it can cast 20 grams. So there's some versatility. 3.5 to 20 grams so far. So, you know, that's pretty good going. All right, so let's try and rip this one a little bit further. Let's see. I think it should be okay. I don't feel, you know, like it's going to break the rod or anything like that. Let's give it a bit. Yeah, a little bit further, I would say. Nothing major, but yeah, it's capable of casting 20 grams, because maybe you don't necessarily need that 20 grams for the extra casting distance, but maybe, you know, the current or the profile of the lure in the 20 gram version rather than, you know, if you're throwing a 10 or a 15 might be more suitable. So yeah, I don't necessarily think it's going to cast any further. Well, slightly further, but you know, it's not like it's, if it's 25% heavier, it casts 25% longer, nothing like that. All right, so now that we've established we can cast 3.5 grams, we can cast 25 grams quite comfortably. Let's go down a little bit. The lightest thing I've got a 1.5 gram jig head, as you can see here. Daiwa Gekabijin jig head. I think it's a number 10 hook, but that's 1.5 grams. Don't have a snap on there, so it's, you know, it's legit 1.5 grams. We'll give this a cast and see how it goes. Again, I've got a little bit of line out. I think that's the best way to cast spinning rods. And I'll just, let's see. Okay, you saw where it landed there. It's gone something around about 12 meters, I would say. You know, does it bomb? No, but yeah, the reel is obviously not ideal for casting 1.5 grams. Obviously lighter line, maybe a little bit of a shorter leader would be better. And, you know, a rod that's like a, you know, 0.8 to 5 grams casting weight rod, like say a Mavos Plume or something like that, I do think that that would cast this probably, I'm going to say at least 3 meters longer, if not more. But it's definitely, you know, capable. Like if you're in a pinch, it's, you know, it does the job. It's not, you know, totally incapable of doing it. But if I was to say what the best casting sort of rating is for this rod, I would say, I think aesthetics wise, obviously looks good. It's sleek, it's black, you know, it's got the black guides, everything like that. Aesthetically, I like it. In terms of its comfort, I didn't feel like this was any of a hindrance, this tiny little butt. The length of it's good. You know, holding onto the reel here, it's comfortable. Even this sort of cutout section here is quite all right. Didn't notice it, didn't find it particularly uncomfortable or you know, or gloriously comfortable or anything like that. In terms of sensitivity, I would say it's average. It's not exceptional. You know, if sensitivity is the highest thing on your priority list, maybe this isn't the rod for you, but all in all, it's competitive, the sensitivity. The recovery is very good. Just, you know, jigging those, twitching and jigging those lures, yeah, the rod recovery is quite crisp. Definitely don't have any issues with that. In terms of like the casting weight and that type of thing, well, yeah. What the hell is that noise? There's two huge birds there. They scared the hell out of me. Anyway, in terms of the casting weight, because that's the big selling point of this rod, you know? You want something that's versatile. You want something that you can cast everything with. You can just, you know, it's a saltwater fishing dream, pretty much. You can target any species with it. You know, obviously not big pelagics and that type of thing, but, you know, within reason. I think the casting weight, you know, I casted that 1.5 grams. It's okay. So, you know, if you were casting off somewhere that's kind of steep or something like that, you know, you can cast it out 12 meters and let it slowly drop to the bottom. Maybe that could be a technique that you could use with that kind of weight. 3.5 grams, pretty much, you know, good. You know, your typical 1 to 10 gram rod casts that 3.5 grams just as well as this. So I would say the casting weight is good from 3.5 grams, and then up to, say, I would say 20 grams. I mean, it's capable of casting over 20 grams. It's not going to snap on you. We did cast 25 grams before, but I would say it's more optimal around the 20-ish mark. Anything over 20, you're not really getting any additional casting distance, or, you know, very minor casting distance improvement with that extra weight. So you know, like 15 grams is very good. So yeah, it's like, you know, 3.5 to 15, but it's, you know, 20 is good too, and then beyond 20, it's, sorry, 25 is good too. But, you know, it's not sort of like, you know, anything spectacular compared to 20. Like, if I was to market this rod, I would probably say it is a, let's say, a 3 to 20 gram rod, something like that. Even that's quite impressive in its range. But all in all, price wise, I think the price is definitely reasonable. It was around about 180 Australian dollars, so I think that's quite reasonable. Your the rods that you're going to get from Daiwa Shimano, got the what is that? Got a little plane over the top there. The Daiwa and Shimano rods and your, you know, Abu rods and that type of thing, they're around about that price point. In terms of you know, build quality and components and things like that, this is equal, if not better. So yeah, I would say if you're looking for a long, versatile rod for open water saltwater fishing, whether it be off piers, docks, off rocks, off the beach, this could really be a great rod for you. Anyway guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Don't forget to please drop a comment and a like, and set a hook in that subscribe button.